Welcome back to Fast Market, everyone. Kevin Hinks back here along with Nick Theodorakis for our second segment. Now let's bring in the co-founder of LikeFolio.com, Mr. Landon Swan, to the show. He's going to look at this key topic that we're discussing today, and that is consumer staples. Landon, first thing I want to do, thank you for being flexible and pivoting to a consumer staples discussion. I think that's vital for what you have. And LikeFolio has some incredible data to share on things like food price concerns. Landon, tell us what you're finding on your data on consumer staples.
Sure. Actually, let's just start with food price concerns. So that's at plus 190% year over year. So that is far higher than it was in COVID. It's basically triple, right? So it's a huge concern. Everyone's talking about it. Prices are up the most they've been since 1981, an increased basis. So I think it's at 9.4%. So it's a very big concern for everyone. And you know what? What we're seeing is, it used to be a situation with, the lockdowns and pandemic and all that Walmart and Target and Kroger, they had a fantastic run with their digital products, their omni-channel, all the, curbside pickup, delivery, all that. Fantastic. But now with rising inflation and supply chain issues and labor shortages and economic reopenings, all of that's kind of shifting, right? So COVID giveth and COVID taketh away. That's what we're seeing right now. So what we're seeing with the consumer is they're moving to more bulk and discount retailers. So when you're looking at companies like BJ's, which is one that, we kind of didn't see coming until we looked at the data, BJ's is absolutely killing it. I mean, they are taking market share. They're doing a fantastic job. Sam's Club's also doing well. Costco should be, but they're falling back a little bit. I think that they had such a good surge in COVID that they kind of won there anyway. So the comps are pretty much impossible to continue rising. But these are the three that are really taking over, along with Dollar General. That's another one I want to talk about in just a minute. But if you look at these, this is, again, it's a shift from the Walmarts, the Targets, the Krogers over to these more wholesale type outlets. And another one, like I said, is Dollar General. They're doing really well against the group. Their purchase intent is higher. Their happiness isn't quite there, which you kind of expect from a company like Dollar General. But their purchase intent is doing extremely well, and so you can kind of see it on this chart where Walmart and Target are. Kroger lagging behind significantly. Very concerning there. Dollar General way out to the right. Again, happiness isn't quite where you'd want it to be. Still above Walmart, but barely. But the purchase intent is what's moving. So people are looking for ways to stretch the dollar because it is tough right now. Their food prices are just incredibly high, and everyone's feeling it. And so ordering online and picking up curbside are great, but if the price is high, you're thinking about going somewhere else, and that's what we're seeing.
What are you seeing from a happiness kind of score here? You said Costco is falling back a bit, but I was there yesterday after market hours, and I mean the lines have never been longer. I mean you're seeing these big box stores just packed. What are you seeing in terms of where customers are kind of talking about and getting the best? I know price matters the most. Where are people kind of getting the best experience right now? Because you go into these stores, it's not a very intimate experience, right? It's big, pallets and. Does that still matter here, Landon? Is that still kind of an important factor, you think?
It does.
I mean, fading because price is so important now.
That's all right. So I think it's starting to shift a little bit to where people are willing to put up with a little bit not as happy experience or not as luxurious, I guess, in order to get that price discount. I think that's becoming more and more important. So while the leaders are the same, like Target, and even Costco is pretty good on happiness, the purchase intent moves are really, and the demand moves are what we're looking at. So a company like Kroger, for example, is falling behind, even though they have higher happiness than all these others. In fact, their earnings score, if they were to report today, is in the negative 50 range. And they don't report until mid next month, but still, it's very concerning. Then on the other side, you look at a company like BJ's, and they're looking at a score of around plus 80, and they report next week. So there's a huge shift going on between convenience and, like you say, happiness or experience versus make my dollar go further. And the anytime you have inflation at these levels, food prices at these levels, and concerns just absolutely off the chart, far more than it was during COVID, you're going to find people looking for ways to make their dollar go further. And that means bulk and discount. And that's what we're seeing.
Landon, your purchase intent versus sentiment chart. Most of this isn't a surprise, right? Not surprising that people at Target, they enjoy their experience more than people at Walmart. Not really surprising. Not really surprising that Dollar General is a little bit low. But the size of Kroger and the stores that they control, about 2,800 in the U.S., and for them to have the happiness level that they have, that's the one dot on your plot that's a little bit impressive because, overall, with higher prices, you would think, this is not a small boutique chain. This is a massive, the largest grocer in the U.S., and they're remaining, even though their sales look a little lower, their happiness is still only second to Target. I consider that a major win if I'm Kroger, Landon.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Kroger's done a lot of good things over the last 10 years, ever since we all declared them dead when Amazon bought Whole Foods. They have adapted and changed. They have introduced an entire organic section to all the stores that in the beginning it was, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 square feet. And it seems like it just keeps growing and growing. And people love that section. They're getting higher quality products. They do a good job, not only inside the store, but also with all the ways that you can get your food delivered to you and have it, take curbside and all that. So Kroger is very savvy. They are excellent at executing. But like I said, their prices, while they're not high, they're just not bulk and they're not discount. And that's, I think, where Costco and Dollar General and BJ's, they're coming in and kind of taking a little bit, or they have taken in Costco's case, but Dollar General and BJ's are starting to kind of pop up on the radar. But yes, you're right. Kroger's excellent at executing on that happiness. Very impressive.
And no doubt, Landon, they are not a bulk shopper. They're not in the Costco. They are a traditional supermarket chain doing things that way and controlling things as best they can. But we're going to cover Kroger in our third segment today, by the way. So, Landon, great coverage on the names that you brought to the table. These are the three that we're talking about here: Walmart, Target, and Kroger. Landon, I appreciate you coming on, as always, giving us the massive amounts of data and information that LikeFolio does. Have a great day, Landon. And hey, by the way, Landon, we're having Florida-like weather here in Chicago.